Today, we're diving into something pretty profound. We're going to explore a question that sits right at the heart of the Quran's opening, and it's all about understanding this core concept, the straight path.
So, think about it for a second. If you could make just one request, one plea, to help you navigate this crazy journey of life, what would it be? You might think of money or health or happiness, but the Quran suggests our most fundamental need, the most important ask, is actually something else entirely. And this is it. Show us the straight path. Simple, right? But this single request is incredibly powerful. It's the central prayer that basically sets the stage for everything else that follows in the entire Quran. Now, this prayer comes from the very first chapter, Surah Al-Fatiha, which actually means the opening. And what's so cool about it is that it isn't a story, and it's not a list of rules. It's a direct conversation with God, a universal prayer for direction that is absolutely central to the faith. You see, Al-Fatiha starts by laying out who God is, the sustainer of everything, the most merciful, the master of the final judgment. Then, it defines our relationship with Him, that we worship and seek help from Him and only Him. And all of that builds up to that one ultimate request: guide us to the straight path. This prayer is so foundational, it's recited in every single one of the 5 daily prayers. Okay, so the request has been made. Show us the path. How is that prayer answered? Well, the very next chapter, Al-Baqarah, gets right into it. But it starts in a fascinating place. It begins by first describing 3 different ways people respond to guidance when it's presented to them. The text breaks it down into 3 types. First, you have the mu'min, the believer, someone who truly accepts faith and, just as importantly, acts on it. Second, there's the kafir, the denier. This is someone who knows the truth but actively chooses to reject it. And third, the munafiq, or the hypocrite, the person who says all the right things, but in their heart, they don't believe it. Now, why start here? It's brilliant, really, because to find the right path, you first have to understand the different ways you can wander off it. And here's the crucial takeaway. Faith is so much more than just saying the words. It's a combination of what you genuinely feel in your heart, your intention, and what you do with your hands, your actions. According to this, the two are completely inseparable. So to really understand this link between belief and action, the Quran takes us all the way back to the very beginning. The story of Adam isn't just about a mistake. It's our first lesson in messing up, seeking forgiveness, and experiencing God's incredible mercy. So check out this cycle. God creates Adam, and Adam makes a mistake. But the key part of the story, the real lesson, is what happens next. Adam doesn't despair. He immediately realizes his error, turns back to God, and asks for forgiveness. And God, being the most merciful, forgives him. The story isn't really about the sin itself. It's about the powerful path of return, the act of repentance, or tawbah. And this verse just captures that moment so perfectly. God doesn't just forgive, He actually teaches Adam the very words he needs to ask for that forgiveness. This establishes a fundamental principle right from the start. The door to mercy is always open for those who sincerely look for it. Okay, so from that very personal first lesson in mercy, the text zooms out to a huge historical case study. The Quran often uses stories of past nations to show us how these principles play out in the real world. And here, it turns to the story of Bani Israel, the children of Israel, to show what happens when an entire community is given immense guidance. The story kicks off by listing the absolutely incredible blessings they received. We're talking freedom from a tyrant, miraculous food literally falling from the sky, a continuous stream of prophets to guide them, just countless undeniable favors. But what was their response to all this? Well, the text shows a pattern of ingratitude and disobedience. They argue with their own prophets, and they started to believe that just their heritage alone was enough for salvation, forgetting that faith always needs action to back it up. The story drives home a timeless lesson here. Being grateful for what you have is what protects those blessings, but its opposite, nashukri, or ingratitude, is a surefire way to lose them. All right, let's bring this all together. We started with a prayer for guidance. We saw the different ways people can respond to that guidance. We learned about mercy from the story of Adam, and we got a big warning about gratitude from the story of Bani Israel. So after all that, what exactly is this straight path? You see, the straight path isn't some big mystery. It's actually a pretty clear formula. It's recognizing God's mercy, turning back to Him when we inevitably mess up, being grateful for what we've been given, and, crucially, turning our sincere belief into righteous actions.
That is Siratal Mustaqim, the straight path. It's both the journey and the destination, the number one thing we're told to ask for and the ultimate goal, all explained right there in the opening of the Qur'an.
So this opening chapter gives us a clear map, connecting belief, repentance, and gratitude. But it leaves us with the question that's not just for thinking about, but for acting on. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.